Okay, so we were talking, so you had a miscarriage with
yes.
one of your children.
Yes, yeah. Prior to my first
Right.
child, yeah.
And then how about your other two
And
children?
the other two pregnancies were normal, with the exception that I had to have a cesarean in both cases.
Okay.
Surgery.
All right. And then how about any issues with any problems, any medical issues with either child or?
No.
Okay.
Medical issues.
Okay. And so we talked a little bit about, you said that some of your friends are the ones that sort of convinced you to come here. So can you tell me a little bit about sort of your circle of friends and people that you talk to?
Yeah, so I have a few really close friends that I've known for quite a long time, since I was young. And so I talk with them fairly frequently, and they've seen the evolution of my relationship with my husband, so they understand kind of where I'm coming from, and I trust them enough to let them know.
Okay.
And have let them know, obviously, what's been going on over the years, and they have been great at supporting me and just giving me advice and recommending different avenues, such as counseling, when they knew that.
Okay.
Because I've been going through such a hard time.
Okay. So, and then can you tell me a little bit about, so you're living in the house now, and you have a supportive network. And then can we talk just a little bit about your sexual history?
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me a little bit about, did you have boyfriends or girlfriends before?
Mm-hmm. I had one long-term boyfriend when I was young, 14 for 3 years in high school, and then shortly after that met my husband.
Okay. So have you, how was...
in terms of...
How would you consider your sex life with your husband when you were married?
In the beginning, it was certainly healthy, and then over the past couple years, it's been virtually nothing.
Okay. And how do you feel, are you looking to start to date, or have you thought about that? Are you in any kind of relationship now?
No, I'm not in any relationship now, and I don't even think I'm honestly ready to date at this point, especially with the kids and all of that. It just seems like a lot. We'll see how it goes down the road.
Okay.
Certainly open to relationships in the future, but not at this point. It's just too...
Okay. And good for you for recognizing that you think that you need some time to kind of work on yourself. Mm-hmm. And then tell me a little bit about your work history.
So I've been, I went to college for accounting, and I've been working in finance since then. Right now I'm a payroll specialist. Okay.
And are you able to, with everything that's going on in your life, is work still something that is stable? Have you had any issues at work?
It's been stable. Of course, I'm distracted a little bit at work and with the kids, and just having the foundation outside of work that support system. I have my friends and my family, but it's been a bit of a balance trying to figure out how that all works, especially that my husband I can't always count on him to necessarily pick up, drop off. So anyway, the distraction level at work has been tough. But in terms of, the hours, and I am still getting all my work done, and I believe meeting expectations, but I certainly don't feel like I'm fully invested right now mentally. Okay,
and that kind of makes sense. So, and then how about, you had said that you were, that you felt like you were struggling financially. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm working full time, and then my husband right now has been inconsistently providing financial support, so I can't really count on him in terms of money. It's been a really difficult point of contention for the two of us, actually.
Okay, so are you able to stay current with your bills, or are...
It's been a struggle, a lot of credit card debt is building up right now, which is leading to some of my issues with I'm just anxious about it all the
Okay.
time and having trouble sleeping.
Okay.
It's been weighing on me.
So let's talk a little bit about what your goals are in therapy. What would you like to accomplish? What do you think are your biggest issues?
I think more than anything, it's good to have a counselor to kind of give you that outsider perspective. You don't really know me,
Okay.
but like give me perspective on my situation, and it's a great way, or I hope it's a great way of just working through my issues that I don't necessarily know how to deal with on my own. Of course, my friends know some of what I'm going through, but just having that you as an additional support system, I think, is helpful
Okay.
as well.
Have you found that how would you define your family support? So it sounds like you have some friends that you
I do.
are really close to.
My parents are helping out as much as they can. They live locally,
Okay.
but it's certainly not as much as I would like it to be in terms of having family support. They're busy as well, but it's been somewhat of a struggle to get them to help as much as I would like, and I don't even know if that's even fair for them, honestly, but it's been a little bit of a
Okay.
struggle.
So when you say that you'd like help from them, what would help look like from your family that you may be not getting?
Specifically more help with the kids, just to and from school activities, just being another backbone of support for them as
Okay.
kind of going through all of this. And support is definitely there, but not at the level. It's just, it sometimes feels like I think they're resentful when I ask for help.
Okay. And how would you say, what are their thoughts about, what do you think their thoughts, or what have they said about your marriage or your decision to separate and get divorced?
They're definitely disappointed, but they've seen throughout the years the issues and how much we've grown apart. That there's definitely a level of understanding. It's not ideal. I mean, they've been married for 45
Okay.
years, so they haven't been through this situation. So I think in some respects it might be a bit of an embarrassment, but both of my sisters have been through divorce too. So.
Okay. And then one other question, do you have any religious affiliation or any spiritual?
I don't go to church regularly. I'm a Baptist, but so I guess I'm Christian, but not actively participating.
And do you feel any pressures around your religious beliefs with regards to divorce or?
No, I actually don't. I mean, I feel like I've come to terms with how this is, and I don't feel pressure from my religion, from my Christianity, to stay married just because of religion. No.
Okay, so when we began, we talked. You said you were coming because you were feeling depressed and anxious and overwhelmed. So let's talk about what does that. So tell me what overwhelmed looks like.
It's just having my husband, just having kind of a obviously strained relationship with him, but not being able to really have him understand that the place that I'm in, and that we're definitely where I'm at in terms of our relationship, him wanting to be in it, me not wanting to be in it, and then in addition to that, getting him to commit to a schedule with the kids, and then having everything going on with the kids, with the activities, and having to coordinate all of that and work full time, and then not always having my family to rely on. Friends certainly, obviously, when they can, but it feels like it's a lot of moving pieces, and just trying to keep everything together sometimes just seems overwhelming.
Okay, so what is that, so you've talked about the actions and what goes on today, but what ends up happening to you? How do you feel,
I
or
just
how do
feel
you
drained
react to that?
and exhausted and overwhelmed, and like I said, some days I don't want to get out of bed, and even though I'm not sleeping well at all, I don't have much of an appetite. I feel like I'm constantly on edge.
Okay, and how does that, are there results of that? So, are you still, working every day, or have you missed time at work? When you say you don't have an appetite, have you lost weight?
Yeah, so I've only, I've missed a few days of work.
Okay.
Just being, kind of, just overwhelmed by everything, and felt like I needed a few days to get my kind of sanity back. But I've been consistently going, and in terms of eating, when I get nervous, I have no appetite. So yeah, I've lost a significant, amount of weight over the past 6 months.
Okay, so when you say that you've missed a few days of work, can you just take a minute and think of, in the last 6 months, and you separated, how many days of work have you missed?
Yeah, in total, it's been about, I think 5 days.
Okay, so about once a month you
Yeah,
might have needed to take, so you've called in,
right, yeah.
so you've been out sick because,
Just from just being completely just fried, overwhelmed,
Okay.
and yeah.
okay. And then you said in the past 6 months, you've lost a significant amount of weight. How much weight?
It's
Have
been
you
about
lost?
15 pounds.
Okay. So, when you say you're not sleeping well, on average, what does a schedule look like when you go to bed? How long is it taking you to get to sleep? Things like that.
I would say that's the biggest struggle, even just getting to sleep, because I can't get my mind to
Okay.
shut off. So I'm trying to get I start to, go to bed around 11.
Okay.
I'm always working to get stuff done after work anyway with the kids, just getting them to bed and then having time for myself. But then just going to bed, it takes me a couple hours at least. I'm probably getting no more than 3 to 4 hours
Okay.
of sleep a night.
Okay. So, and then you said when you're trying to find time for yourself, what does time for yourself look like?
I guess it's not even really for myself. It's more catching up on the house and my, during the week, it's just, there's no time to really clean or, get the kids' lunches together and do all that stuff. So at night I use that time to kind of catch up with all that stuff.
Okay.
So it's not really me time. I don't really have much of that or time for that right now.
Okay. So, so if I had to summarize, you've kind of lost your appetite. You're only sleeping 3 or 4 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
That you're feeling overwhelmed with the amount of stuff to do at the house, and your husband, we've got an inconsistent schedule of care and seeing the kids with your husband.
Mm-hmm.
So those are a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something, if you had to sort of rank them, like what's bothering you the most, or what